am Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a Kawai console that was made in Hamamatsu, Japan in 1978. And if you're curious about model numbers, this is a model number 801. Now, Kawai's model numbers have always been kind of a, in my opinion, disorienting variety. But let it suffice to say that this is a decorator-style console in a cherry finish with, not quite a match and bench, but it is the same color. It's included with the piano, opens up to store music. It's a decorator-style console meant to fit into a home with more traditional furniture. In addition to being a attractive piece of furniture, really rewarding musical instrument. Everything that I find to be endearing about Kawai's to those pianists who like them, it's present in this piano. It has a nice rounded sound. It can sound bright, and I had this lid cocked open, and this is very much a decorative style. Perhaps you would want it that way if you want to get more sound out of it, but most people who are going to use their piano are going to have it with the lid flat like that, and you can put sheet music, a metronome, whatever you want on top of it. If you want more sound out of it, though, it does make it sound a bit bigger. I said it has the typically warm, rounded tone that Kawai's have. I don't think it's an especially mellow piano, but it's not bright either. There's a lot of characteristics of tone that are determined not by the hardness of the hammers, which is kind of where the mellowness or brightness comes in, but other parts of the piano design, the scale design, the way the strings are arranged. And Kawai has a very consistent idea about how their piano should sound, all the way from their smallest console pianos, all the way to the largest uprights, and then into the grands, into the largest grands. It's definitely a recognizable, rounded sound that's common in all Kawai's, and in my opinion, I would say that Kawai's experience making fine concert instruments allowed them to make design and engineer a small console piano to play as well as a small console piano could play. And I'm always impressed by how deep the sound is on Kawai vertical pianos in particular. They sound larger than they look. It's a very deep sound. It's still a console, so it's not going to sound as big as a full-size Kawai upright. But amongst console pianos, I think it's very deep sounding. It's a little bit mellower on this piano, but that's the Kawai sound in this piano. And one of the things that endears me to these pianos, I do like playing on Kawai consoles. If I had to choose a console, good chance it would be a Kawai. Now, I did mention it's not especially bright. It's not mellow either entirely. It can sound bright if you play it loudly. That works itself out to be a 5 on the scale from 1 to 10, from mellow to bright. The touch is, I would say, characteristic of Kawai. It is firmer than average. There's more than the average amount of resistance in the keys, and that works itself out to be a 6 on a scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. And I know there are teachers who prefer their students to practice on the piano with a firmer touch, so that they will be better prepared for the more massive feel of a grand piano, such as they would have to play at a piano lesson. That is another reason why teachers very comfortably recommend Kawai vertical pianos. Now, unlike a lot of decorator-style consoles that you might see, especially if they were made in this country, this one has a practice mute. Maybe not so much of a surprise from a piano coming out of Japan, but you see it so often in older model American-made consoles, decorator-style consoles, that there's just no middle pedal practice mute there. The middle pedal does something else, which, in my opinion, is not as useful as this. This operates just like it would on a larger Yamaha or Kawai, press it down, move it over to the left, and it'll insert a strip of felt in between the hammers and the strings, so if you want to practice very lately at night, you can do so without bothering anyone. Compared to the normal volume, a substantial reduction in sound. So, especially if you're a family of multiple children who are all taking turns practicing at night, being prepared for their piano lessons, you can have them use the middle pedal to quiet it down when everyone else is trying to do something else. So, of course, like everything else we sell, this piano does have a 10-year warranty on all parts and labor, and a 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee. Just make sure it's in tune twice a year and kept in a moderate stable humidity. If you do that, you can, if you wish, return to our store and trade this piano in for precisely its instrument sales price. That applies to anything else we sell too, if you should choose a different piano. And upgrade to another piano of a higher price and get exactly the previous price in trade. That's what we mean by 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee. And teachers very frequently recommend our store, knowing that we've regulated and worked on all of these pianos. I did a bit of work to this piano on the pedals. And knowing that the pianos are going to be functional and all the keys are going to work evenly, whether it sounds bright or mellow, teachers really care that the keys all work correctly. So they don't want the students to become discouraged on a piano that's not functioning correctly. And they're confident recommending us because we do the work to these pianos that they need. And as a student progresses, and they should be able to progress on a quality piano like this, it may be at the teacher's discretion later on to recommend a larger piano to trade up to. You might consider a larger upright to get a deeper sound, although if the teacher says you're really making progress, they'll probably recommend at least a baby grand, something with an appreciably more responsive touch. But if that's not in your plans, if you just want to, maybe if you're returning to the piano after many years' absence and you didn't aspire to be quite that level of playing, you just want something that sounds good and looks pretty in your home, this is certainly a workhorse. Kawais are very easy to service, and we get good results when we do service them and make the adjustments necessary to make them play correctly. So rest assured, I don't think you'll feel a need to trade this in anytime soon. You could have it for the rest of your piano playing life if you want. You might only trade it in if you feel like you need a bigger piano. So definitely stop by and try it out for yourself. I think you'll be quite pleased with it. You're welcome to play it or anything else in their inventory. But if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email if you have any questions.